What's good with y'all, man? It's King Camp. Alright, I'm about to come to y'all with these straight facts, bro. So today kind of started off like, I don't know, it was crazy. Like I started the day off right, you know. I did some yoga, I did child pose. You know, I got grounded for the day. I did some breath work. And then it was crazy because, you know, a certain situation with a certain body I'm close to popped up, and it kind of immediately the day started with like energy coming in, like knowledge. I was like, okay. And then my brother called me on the way to work right behind that. And then we chopping it up, right? And I'm like, damn, there's all this energy coming from, right? But nah, it really led me up to a video. I was like, you know what? I need to drop that to them. This ain't gonna be long, but it's gonna be straight to the point, all right? So look, pay attention, okay? So if you ask me from how I perceive things, which is much different than most people, there's no good and bad, all right? There's just not a good and bad. There's perception, right? And what I mean by that is, what's good to somebody might be bad to someone else, and what's bad to somebody else might be good to somebody, right? So it really comes down to perception. But the big point I want to make here is, if you take that concept and you apply it to everything, right? Everything you go through in life that like leads to change usually seems as if it's an unfavorable circumstance, right? But that's due to the way that you perceive things. And usually in the moment, humans are very emotionally charged beings. And there is a difference between emotions and feelings, and I'll get to that in a minute. But we are very emotionally charged, which keeps us in our primitive state, right? It keeps us in our natural state of the physical body, okay? And when we do that, it keeps us from observing things from a more natural, free-willed spot. So, for example, if you went on a horse, that my boy, he dropped me a video, and it kind of inspired, it inspired these ideas of like, I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to make a video about this, but I haven't. And it was the perfect example. I have to give props. It was the perfect example. So look, you break your arm today, right? Your arm snap in half. You go horseback riding. The horse bucks you off. You snap your arm, right? Now, you upset. Immediately, like in the moment, you're going to be upset, right? You hot. You trying to figure out how the hell you going to live with one arm. It's just you. You don't know what to do. You know, you can't work. Shit fractured in 8 different places, right? And then tomorrow, they come to draft you, right? We breaking out in a full war with Russia and China, and they come to draft you, right? Now, you don't have to go because you snapped your arm the day before. You no longer qualify, right? So in the moment, the circumstance seems as if it's a negative thing, right? But then the next day, your whole entire way of perceiving that circumstance that happened changes, because now you're like, oh shit, I see the good in it. I understand why that happened. So my point is, if you take a more balanced, right, and neutral way of looking at things, so not so much on the side of good or the side of bad, but taking whatever circumstances come your way more as an experience and as what they are, right? And you step back from your primitive physical state and you really look at what just happened, you can find the growth in every situation that has occurred to you, right? Everything that has occurred to you, some way along the lines, leads to some type of growth or learning, or I should say it has the potential to, right? So you pick up that more balanced way of thinking, that neutral way. It's not that it's good, but it's not that it's bad. It just is. It's just an experience, right? Then you're more optimal to see, right? You can see everything for what it really is. You'd be like, oh shit, now, and then you could go back your whole life and think about every situation that ever occurred when it was in the moment. Like you break up with somebody because some shit happened, you know, it wasn't favorable to you. You were not in a good situation. And in the moment, it was the end of the world. And now you probably laugh about it. Now you probably cool, and you probably don't even hold no type of ill will or ill grudges or anything like that against the person. And it's because we have that ability to take that stance in everything we do and how we think, right? So it's just crazy to think that just by adjusting or tweaking the way you perceive things can change every circumstance you run into for the rest of your life. Bro, don't that sound good? Don't that sound like, damn, well, instead of me being salty or me being this way or me being that way, I can take this situation and I can swap up my way of perceiving things just a little bit, and I can see what the hell this is. Because everything occurs to us for us to reach our highest good. So there's not going to be a circumstance that comes into your life that's going to deter you, right? It's all about how you react to the circumstance of whatever it is. But it all has the ability to get you further up on what you're trying to achieve, what you were meant to achieve here, right? So I think that's a beautiful concept. But now to break down emotions and feelings just a little bit, right? So emotions aren't necessarily a good thing. And the reason why emotions aren't really a good thing is because they keep you grounded in a physical sense, right? So they keep you in your most primitive, natural human state, right? Like being a physical human being. That's what emotions do, right? Emotions being like frustration, right? Things like that, bro. That's emotion, right? Now feelings are natural, right? But feelings are more soul-based. For example, you break up with somebody, right? And your soul is shook. You're sad. You're kind of in a funk, maybe even a depression, right? That is a feeling. Your soul is engulfed in that, right? And so in order to beat that feeling, all you have to do is submit to that feeling. And what I mean is, if you're sad, then embrace it, right? Fall into that feeling. Because honestly, that's the only way to get through shit like that. You have to surrender to it. Fall into a submissive state to that feeling. If you sad, don't be holding it back. Don't be putting a smile on every day trying to act like you all good, but you not. Behind closed doors, you breaking down. You can't even function. No, go where you need to go and let that shit out. Fall into it. Be sad for those couple weeks if you need to, because I feel like the process probably speed up if you fully dwell into it. If you don't try to keep going in life and act like you all hard. No, bro, we all go through things that shake us. Fall into that. Be submissive to those feelings because they are natural. You feel them. Now with your emotions, be more level-headed, right? Understand that an emotion is like, it's not even a necessary thing that we go through, right? You can control your emotions, right? I mean, if you ask me, you can control your feelings, but you're going to have feelings nonetheless. But you can live a life where you ain't got to really deal with emotions as much, right? Like, you can get rid of certain emotions and be so much more level-headed, all right? Stop living in our primitive states. We're not cavemen no more, right? We're not cavemen, bro. We evolved. We are gods and goddesses and kings and queens of the Most High. Like, bro, live your natural state. Be beautiful. Be loved, man. You always gonna hear me tell folks, be loved. Be loved. When you get your heart broke next time, I'm not saying in that moment it's gonna be the easiest thing for you to understand that there is love and there is things that come out of it that are good or favorable, I should say. You know, because most people not trying to hear that when they hurt, just straight up. But if you start to practice with everyday little things, right? Little things that come up and you start to see, okay, well, that did happen for a reason. Or that led to this. And if that wouldn't have happened, then this would have happened. And then you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and then you can trace that back for your whole damn life through every circumstance, and you can see it playing out before you. And then you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's it. I could fall back. There's no good, there's no bad, there's an experience. And however I decide to handle that experience is what happens. And it's beautiful, bro. It's a good thing. That's how you really start to get out of the mindset of, look, you not wrong, you not bad. The neighbor ain't wrong, they not bad. You just got different perceptions and ways of perceiving things, right? It's all perception. That's all it is. Your mind will limit or grant you everything that you want, right? So just take it like that, bro. Every day is a learning experience. And there was something from my last video I wanted to put, and I kind of forgot, because there is just so much shit today that, like, I'm really on one today. So much knowledge. Stop being conditional, right? Real quick, this will be my last note. Stop being conditional, right? And what I mean by being conditional is we are like non-limited beings, right? But for some reason we be living in a state where we're so conditional based on the circumstances of everything. We don't have to be that way. Like, if you want to be happy, you don't have to live in a mansion to be happy. That's a choice you make, right? That is being conditional. You bend with the wind. You move when they say move, right? You gonna flow how they want you to flow. Stop being conditional, right? Stay in your ground. Be non-conditional. You gonna be you in and out, no matter if the world breaks in half today. You gonna be you. You are rock. You are non-conditional. You can exist through anything and still stand firm in what you believe and stand strong and help people, help yourself, right? Being conditional only limits our capability to create, right? If, let's say you wanted to go to the beach tomorrow and it rains and you throw a damn pissy party because it's raining, you're conditional because you basing your happiness or whatever feeling you feeling in that moment, you basing it off of the condition of something that you can't control, right? Something that you cannot control. So with that being said, you can stand firm in what you can control, which is you, and you can make everything shape around you, right? Because it's your life, and the only thing that you can fully control is you, right? So if it do rain, if the world do break in half, if the zombie apocalypse starts tomorrow, is that reason for you to go flip your lid and live in a hole for the rest of your life? Absolutely not, right? You are being a conditional being, and you're so much greater than that. You're not conditional. You are non-conditional. You can exist and adjust to anything, right? You just got to know who you are and stay firm in that, and then nothing can budge you. You a damn rock. But I'm going to let that go right there. If y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know, please. If you're going to share. If you're going to like it. You know what I'm saying? Talk at me. All right, camp out. Love y'all.